Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun.
You lying ass bitch.
Let's be honest, more and more black women today are becoming increasingly unsavory, whether it's in how they carry themselves, how they speak, or how they present their values. We're seeing a sharp rise in behavior that's unpleasant, morally offensive, and downright disgraceful. Class, dignity, and ladylike conduct seem to be fading fast, replaced with vulgarity, rudeness, and a lack of self-respect. In this video, I'm talking about it, how it's affecting the image of black women as a whole, and why the decline of truly classy, respectable women should concern us all. These are the conversations that need to be and must be had if there is any hope for progress. Let's talk about it.
Oh, that ain't who I think it is.
It's the Drippy Gentleman.
Should've known you was in here. I saw the dripping from the driveway.
Follow the drip.
Stay cool like how you be cool, alright?
Follow the drip.
Follow the drip, follow the drip.
Once again. Back with another one. Let's talk about it. Unsavory. The definition of unsavory is unpleasant or morally offensive. Long gone are the days when the vast majority of black women were savory rather than unsavory. Long gone are the days when our women moved with class, dignity, respect, when they were at the forefront of the civil rights movement. They were at the forefront of many different movements. Black women were a major part of the Black Panther movement. But long gone are those days. Long gone are the days when you would have to court a black woman. You would have to treat a black woman with dignity and respect in order to get close to her, in order for her to even entertain you or give you any type of attention. Long gone are those days. Now we're in a day and time when the vast majority, unfortunately, is unsavory, disagreeable, nasty, mean, rough. Some can be rather sleazy, unwholesome, obnoxious, repellent, dishonorable, dishonest, unprincipled, villainous, notorious, suspicious, despicable, vulgar, rude, uncouth, crooked, shady. All of these words seem to fit the behavior of many black women. Of course, not all. Let's make that very clear. I am not clumping each and every black woman into a box or a bunch or a group. That's not what I'm doing. I'm speaking the harsh, blunt, raw, and real truth of the situation, that the percentage of unsavory women in the black race and community is growing by the numbers daily. It's increasing instead of decreasing. It's becoming more and more. It's getting to a point where it's hard to see the good women. This is something I've said as far as the dating market. being that my eye is not keen to the average black person, the average black woman. My eye is not caught by weave and edges and nails and things like that. So those things don't catch my eye. So I feel like this in the dating market, where I feel like it's hard to see the women who are not like that, because it gets to a point where you feel like that's all you see. So when, in regards to the behavior, it's starting to get to a point now where I start to feel like all you're seeing is the unsavory women. The women who are willing to twerk at any given moment. The women who are willing to set you up for robbery, or set you up and lie to have you arrested, file false charges against you, or even set you up to be offed. I recently watched a video of a young black girl who staged a home invasion to have her baby's father offed while her children were in the home.
Just after midnight on December 8th, 2024, when Nyasha Perkins made that frantic call to emergency services, her voice trembled as she reported that an unknown intruder had broken into the home she shared with her boyfriend, 30-year-old Quentin Lee Gray, and their 2 young sons. Nyasha Perkins was found guilty of first-degree murder. Calvin Coley was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder.
Now, I'm not saying that this is the narrative that black women are out here just offing people. I'm just using this as an example to show the mentality that's poisoning so many of our women. The unsavory mentality. Unpleasant and morally offensive. Some have a moral compass that's here, some have a moral compass that's here, some have no moral compass at all. But unfortunately, it's getting to a point where we're starting to see more and more black women move in an unsavory manner. The promiscuity that's going on. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who notices this. I've been dating women for a very long time. And I'll say this, in the last 5 to 10 years of my dating experience, getting pussy from women is easy. It's becoming easier and easier and easier. At this point, honestly, there's not much effort to it. It's not like I'm really chasing or pursuing it. Don't really have to do much. At this point, it's being just thrown in your lap. I can't count how many women move like this. It's easy. It's not a challenging feat anymore. It's not something you have to maneuver and have all this game and buy and do all of this. And I'm gonna be honest, if you're a guy out there that's tricking and spending money, I feel sorry for you. Because just like Dave Chappelle said, if pussy was a stock, it would plummet.
Chivalry is dead, don't you? Don't y'all feel that way? Like men aren't gentlemen anymore? That's right. Chivalry is dead, and women killed it. If pussy was a stock, it would be plummeting right now because you flooded the market with it. You're giving it away too easy. You'll be watching the news today, pussy plummeted again on the NASDAQ.
Pussy was a stock in 2025, it would be a penny stock. Anybody can buy hundreds of shares of it with just a penny, because it's just too easy to get. There's no challenge to it. They don't respect their bodies. They don't respect themselves. What I'm starting to notice when I date women is it's much easier to get their body than it is to get their mind and their heart.
I mean, let's be real.
Unsavory. I'm not understanding why the women are moving more and more in this direction, because in reality, ultimately these choices, these behaviors, these things don't work out in their favor. They ultimately hurt them. Doesn't make sense to me. But you see more and more women moving like this. The villainous women. The dishonest women. Case in point, Meg Thee Stallion. Shout out to Tory Lanez. I hope that man gets out free. I hope he gets out very soon. Not only was he lied on blatantly by 2 women, one of which who shot the other one. You did that to your friend, and then both of y'all joined together and said, you know what? Let's blame it on him. Unsavory.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Miss Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case.
Tory Lanez case is being revisited. Evidence came out showing that there was a 0.01% chance of the gun being in Tory Lanez's possession at any time in the car. It was actually shown that the passenger seat most likely had the gun, and in the passenger seat was somebody named Kelsey, who was Megan's best friend.
Lanez didn't shoot superstar Megan Thee Stallion, but it was instead her former best friend, Kelsey Harris. And they say Harris's one-time bodyguard, Bradley James, was spurred by conscience to come forward.
The bodyguard said it's weighing too heavy on his conscience to not come up and speak out about this. Tory Lanez was impaled 14 times and has multiple hits put on him since this happened. Furthermore, unknown DNA was found on the weapon. However, they never tested Chelsea for her DNA, at least to anyone's knowledge.
Any of y'all out there that believe that Tory Lanez picked up a gun while he was with 2 girls that he popped them both, said dance and shot her in the foot, I stand by, you're an idiot.
Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
Morally offensive, unpleasant, dishonest, dishonorable, villainous, shady, crooked. Why are so many black women becoming more and more unsavory by the day? Somebody help me understand this. This does not help us. A nation will only rise as high as the moral compass of the women. So, if our women are becoming more and more unsavory, how will this nation, being the black people, ever rise? They are the first teachers of the children. We all know 8 out of 10 children who are born to single mothers. You women are the ones raising generation after generation after generation. You're the first teachers. And if so many of y'all are becoming more and more unsavory, what are you teaching the next generations? This is why you see more and more young kids being way more disrespectful, way more outlandish. I remember when I was a kid, the kids were disrespectful, but it wasn't to this extent. I remember we had a level of respect. We wouldn't talk certain ways around certain adults. Certain times you would know how to shut things off and be respectful and take off your hat in front of certain people. None of that exists anymore. You see the old lady come down the street, yo, put the weed down. How you doing, Miss Johnson? All right, now you need some help with your bags? Let me help you upstairs real quick. There's still a level of respect. No more does that exist. Those things are gone. And I feel like all of these things track back to the first teachers, the women, who are becoming more and more unsavory. I'm not the only one who remembers when Cardi B mentioned how she used to drug guys and rob them, all while trying to use the victim excuse and say, well, nobody wanted to help me.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Let me just be real about my personal situation. I've lived the vast majority of my life as a loner. I had to climb out of so many holes by myself. There was no one to help me in many situations. Does that give me grounds, an excuse, and reason to drug women and rob them?
No, sir.
Exactly. It does not. But when you put it in the context of a man moving in that fashion, it's blasphemous. But when a woman does it, it's perfectly glossed over and it's fine. No, it's unsavory and it should not be accepted. She's not the only one who moves like that. She's just one of the few who actually got out open enough to speak about it and talk about it. Because that happens a lot. It's just not talked about. These women ain't gonna get on live and say, yeah, got me another one tonight. They're not gonna do that. Why are they becoming more and more unsavory? More and more dishonest? More and more unwholesome? The twerking and the unladylike demeanor that's going on. It's like they want to be treated like queens and they want the treatment of wives and they want the respect, but they present themselves like streetwalkers and strippers. The lowest of the low. They don't present themselves like ladies. They don't have class. They're not dainty. Just because you get your hair done, just because you get your nails done, just because you wear makeup, just because you dress up, does not mean that you're a lady. What I've learned, the women who have the most cosmetics and artificial beauty, being weave, nails, lashes, makeup, the women who wear the most of that are the women who have the least amount of femininity. That's what I've started to learn through my experience. The more she has, the less feminine she's gonna be. She's not gonna be dainty and ladylike. She's gonna be mad, aggressive. You know how they are. You know how they are. It's not going down like you think it is. You know how they are.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I wish you would put your hands on me. No. I wish you would. No. See, let me tell you something. See, you think I'm one of these regular bitches that won't fight you back. That's the thing. Let me tell you something. I promise you, boo-boo. Promise you, boo-boo. It's not gonna go down the way you think it. No, don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch.
Like, you know what I'm saying? All the hand gestures. And it's one thing that they do I don't understand. What is this? What are you grabbing at? It's like you see gnats and you trying to grab gnats. It's like, let me tell you something. It's like, what are you grabbing at? But that's neither here nor there. Okay, sticking on the topic. Unsavory. I don't understand why our black women are becoming more and more unsavory. It's not conducive to anything positive for them, their children, or our community as a whole. These things do not help. Unsavory, dishonorable, dishonest. Shout out to my homeboy Papoose. One of my favorite rappers, one of the best lyricists, MCs to ever touch a microphone. Brooklyn, all day, every day. Shout out to Papoose. But we all know what's going on. We all know what's going on. Me personally, from the outside looking in, I don't know what's really going on. None of us really knows what's going on. We don't know their personal life. All we know is what they share with us. It's sad for me to even see that they have to share this. Like, I'm not a fan of oversharing. I wish y'all would stop telling us your stories. Hey y'all, stop that. Like, keep your private business private. But unfortunately, we are witnessing what we're witnessing, and it's not pretty. It doesn't look good. It doesn't make us look good as black women, black men, but it definitely doesn't make us look good as a couple together. This is just more division, more tension, more of the same.
This is not my style. But the fact that you mentioned my children and fabricated all these stories about me, about this money. So all of this money talk that you're talking, you're a liar. All you do is lie, very bipolar. Say something 1 minute and she'll say 5 minutes later that she never said it. The fact that you had the audacity to come on here and say, I haven't seen my daughter, when you didn't allow me to see my daughter. Also, she tried to fool y'all and say, what person would be in a marriage with a loving husband, being taken care of, bills paid, and cheat? You know what person would do that? You.
You raggedy bitch.
Have a freak world, tramp.
But the reality is, you heard what the man said, she was unfaithful. Let's not act like black women don't cheat. Let's not act like women don't cheat. Me personally, this is personal opinion. There's no statistics to back this specific opinion. I feel like they do it more. The reason why they get away with it is because women are way more, women are like cats. They're real sneaky. I see men as dogs. We're loyal. We're happy to see you. We'll ride with you no matter what. We just want to be with you. Real men are like dogs. And I don't mean dogs that cheat. I'm talking about dogs. The loyalty, like they say, a dog is a man's best friend. I feel like we have that dog loyalty, that dog spirit in us. Women have a cat-like spirit. You ever notice how cats only want to fuck with you when they want to fuck with you? Notice that? They want you to touch them when they want to be touched. Then when they're done, they leave. They don't want to be seen. They're not going to even let themselves be seen. You know what I mean? Real sneaky, real conniving, doing things, you know. They can jump on things and do all types of stuff and you don't hear a sound. Yeah, that's how women are. So women are real sneaky. That's why I feel like they're able to get away with cheating way more. Plus they have a union. This is not just her. It's her friend, the other friend, the homegirl. They all coercing together to help this situation go down. That's my personal opinion on that. But let's not act like women are not cheaters. You heard what the man said. She cheated on him. I know many women who move like this. You hear many stories of women moving like this. Constantly getting caught. You see the TikToks and the videos of women getting caught and guys catching them and embarrassing them. Finding out that they're cheating. So it's not just the men out here doing this, y'all doing it too.
Black women, what is going on? Why do y'all love to talk about cheating and he gonna cheat anyways? That's all y'all can say, is he gonna cheat? But we don't want to talk about how women cheat, how y'all over here posting half naked on social media for men's attention that's not your man, how y'all rattling the belly, telling these men that they're the fathers for their children when they're not. How many times these men have to get DNA tests and find out that they've been raising the kids that's not theirs? But we don't want to have that conversation. We just want to talk about how men cheat, even when our conversation is not about if he cheats or not. Literally, it's about me working out to stay fit and attractive for my man. And y'all gonna come in here and talk about cheating when y'all the ones who be cheating with y'all work husband, church husband, grocery store husband. When all y'all baby daddies, not the biological father for you.
Just that there's lack of accountability. There's lack of people acknowledging these things and pointing it out and talking about it and putting the shine and the light on it. But then when guys like me and other channels and other platforms begin to speak on these things, we're women haters, we're women bashers. Who hurt you? You must have mommy issues. Miss me with the sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, and the incessant need to be right. Those tricks don't work on me. Try that somewhere else. Straight up. We're focusing on you. Don't deflect. Unsavory is the topic of the day. Unsavory is what's going on amongst so many of our women, and I do not understand it. It must change. It must change. It must cease. Things must get better. Honestly, do I think it's gonna get better? Same thing I said in the previous video that I made about street culture, gang culture, and rap culture, and nigger culture. I don't see any hope. I don't see it getting better. But I just feel like these conversations, the only way they'll ever even have hopes of getting better is that these conversations need to be had.
All the more recent studies are saying that women out cheat men, right? Everything that's new that's coming out is saying that we're talking about men cheating today, but every recent study is showing that, like, yo, the women get it in more than the men get it in. And the reason why women get it in is honestly because they're bored. Whereas with men, it's more along the lines of, like, I'm emotionally missing something.
There are dudes though who just, see a chick with a banging ass body, and if she's about that,
you want to go and smash it and let it happen. But for one, most guys that do that aren't in relationships. Most guys that are just out here smashing are actually single, or they're in situationships where there's a woman saying that he's in a relationship.
I'm gonna call you on my break. Yo, this nigga really think I'm going to work. Yo, I just went through this nigga phone so much. We going to your house. When we get to your house, I'm gonna need you to blow my back out, like pound my shit, like. Why you always recording?
I'm like, goddamn, you dirty bitch, you dirty bitch, you dirty bitch.
Not only are there stories and situations and proof that women cheat, if not just as much, more than guys do, what I've noticed is the lack of care. Like, they don't even care that they're doing the things that they're doing. It doesn't matter.
I cheated previously.
Damn, Brittany.
Coming in hot. Now, years later, my partner is telling me they never fully healed. Am I wrong now to be skeptical and feel like I should now be selfish?
What do you mean be selfish?
They're not healed, so there's a lot of uncertainty. So do I sit in it?
What were you doing to help them in the process of healing?
Nothing. Initially, nothing. But wait.
She said that so smooth.
Let me tell you how this goes, because I think it's selfish for you to ask this question now. Considering the fact that you did not help in the process of healing, you're the one who breached the trust. You're the one who betrayed them. There's a such thing as post-infidelity PTSD that takes place. I don't think you understand what starts happening. The frequent flashbacks, the nightmares, the panics, the anxiety, the uncertainty, all of those emotions, moments where you can't even hear about infidelity in movies, certain people, certain places, certain smells, certain sounds, all of these things are now triggers. So here's my thing. In the process, if you didn't do anything to help with the healing when they were going through the triggers, that means you weren't helping co-regulate. That also means that you didn't take responsibility for what it is that you did, and you also didn't empathize for the pain that you caused that person. The problem is, the offending partner always wants to put a timeline on when somebody is supposed to heal.
Good, Kitty.
You have to understand how affairs really affect a person. It's unfair that I'm not the person who breached this trust, but I have to fall asleep on my own tears and you not even help cuddle me and wipe these tears away. You still should have been able to own up and say, this is the reason why I did this. I understand that I offended you. A part of the process of reestablishing trust after infidelity is giving a safe space for somebody emotionally. That means when they have those moments where they have to talk through the pain that you have caused, you have to be willing to listen without interrupting them. In the moments that they have to express that I'm angry today and I don't understand why I'm angry, you can't judge them. You have to validate that experience because you caused it. It's unfortunate for a person who has been betrayed to have to sit through this process and have to figure out why I wasn't good enough. Why was I not likable? Why was I not lovable? And then try to find a way to still love you. In the moment, when people cheat, it's that instant gratification. But you don't understand the long-term negative consequences that you impact and that you create in your relationship. So yes, it is selfish for you to say, now I'm going to start setting a boundary on your healing. A boundary on your healing. That's manipulation.
I'm gonna be honest. In the last year or so, I go out every now and again to a lounge, having a few drinks. The times that I've went out, I'm gonna be honest. I've encountered so many women who have boyfriends and husbands and have no problem hooking up with me. None. I remember I met a girl, I was sitting in the bar, sitting in the lounge, enjoying my drink. I see this girl, she's sitting with a guy I know who works at the bar. He's one of the bartenders. They're chopping it up, talking. He eventually walks away. But the whole time as they're talking, me and her, you know, shooting an eye at each other. You know how you do when you out, you shoot an eye. Trying to, you fishing. So we shooting an eye at each other. So naturally when he walks away, I'm like, okay, so now we locking eyes. So I'm like, come talk to me. She obliges, comes over. Before she walked over to me, and while she was talking to him, I'm a great observer. I notice everything. I noticed the ring finger. I noticed she had the ring on her finger with the band and everything. So natural question, which first thing I want to know when she walks up, are you married? You know what this woman says to me? Doesn't matter.
I'm like, goddamn, you dirty bitch, you dirty bitch, you dirty bitch.
What I said to her, yes, to a man with integrity, that matters. The conversation ended. She no longer wanted to talk to me. Then maybe half an hour, 45 minutes later, I saw her sitting in between two guys who were both seemed like they were trying to get at her at the same time. Why are so many women unsavory? This is not just my personal experience. I know a lot of guys are noticing it's becoming more and more easy to get them. A lot of women they think having a roster is something cute. You're a woman and you are sexually active or active with more than one man and multiple men, you shouldn't be proud of that. That's an unsavory act. That's an unsavory way to be moving as a woman. It's actually kind of counterproductive to your nature, because the more sexual encounters, the more sexual partners that a woman has, one day she will lose her ability to pair bond. That's going to kill your ability to pair bond, meaning you may meet Prince Charming one day and you won't be able to connect with him as deeply or as necessary as you need to, because you've lost your ability to pair bond. Your soul has been sucked away from all the times yeah, that's how that works. So moving in an unsavory manner is not attractive, it's not cute, it's not okay. What happens to our little girls? Nobody talks about that. What happens to the little girls? If these are the women that are moving so unsavory, if these are the women raising them, these are the women who are the mothers, what happens to the little girls? What type of women are these little girls going to grow up to become? Are they going to be classy? Are they going to be ladylike? Are they going to be respectable? Will they move with dignity? Or will they follow in the footsteps of so many of these unsavory women who are in control and raising children, who are the main influence to a lot of little girls' lives? How many little girls look up to Meg Thee Stallion? How many little girls look up to Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and all these different girls? Would you want your daughter looking up to a woman like that? Cardi B herself has admitted to the fact that she doesn't let her child listen to her own music. So if Cardi B doesn't want her child listening to her music, but it's perfectly fine with your child listening to her music, you don't see a problem with that equation? What happens to the little girls if unsavory women are the ones who are the influence? If this is what these little girls have to look up to, what are they going to become? And again, we're not talking about all black women. We're talking about a vast majority, and as the days go by, the numbers continue to increase. This is the truth. This is the reality.
The apple don't fall too far from the tree. If you was a hot, fast little gal and you getting plenty dick, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. So that little bitch gonna be just like you, ho. Why you think she like to fight the way she like to fight? She been listening to you and your homegirl. Why you think that little girl fucking the way she fucking, sneaking out and chasing that dick and chasing that cum feeling? Bitch, she got that from you and your homegirl. Those are the seeds you sown into your black children, single black bitches. And then y'all wanna holler it ain't no good man. No, it ain't no good man for no single bitch with no kids, bitch. You only good for a good fuck, ho. Fuck a nigga look like coming in helping you with your motherfucking bills, bitch. And you got all them goddamn extra miles, ho. No, it ain't no good man for you, bitch. And it shouldn't be.
I mean, let's be real.
Keeping it real, like them niggas say keep it real, that's real.
Better whoop a call to the Bammies, cause the Cammy Town's a city on the panty style.
What the fuck that even mean, man?
I don't know!
It's the Drippy Gentleman.
No using here. I saw the dripping from the driveway.
Stay drippy.
Follow the drip.
Follow the drip. Follow the drip.